All right. Welcome, everybody. Review your goals for 2023 or write them down if you haven't yet. Think about what you want your practice to look like a year from now. How many patients will you be seeing regularly? How much in collections will you generate for the year? I hope you're on track to hit those goals. If you are, I'm happy for you. But I'd also ask, are these your true ambitions or just what you think you can hit based on what you're already doing? If it's the latter, then take a moment to think about what you really want to achieve, even if you don't know how to get there yet. All right, I want to respect everyone's time and not drag this out, so let's just go ahead and get started. So today, what we're going to cover is setting goals for 2023, the 3 fundamentals for marketing success, how to optimize your website for conversion in 2023 and beyond, the big picture of all the online marketing channels you should be tapping into to maximize your patient flow online, the latest trends that you need to focus on in 2023, and developing a custom action plan based on where you are now, where you want to get to, and what you need to start doing now in order to get there. So today there's no fluff, no pitches, and because I respect your time, I'm going to move through these pretty quickly so you're informed and identify the key pieces of your 2023 marketing strategy in as little time as possible. And if you stick around to the end, you'll get some access to some free bonuses I put together just for this webinar, and I'll jumpstart your marketing activities. So real quick, who am I and why should you listen to me? My name is Sebastian Mueller. I've been doing digital marketing for over 20 years. I founded my marketing agency. We've been doing marketing for chiropractors since early 2017. We work exclusively with chiropractic offices across the US and Canada, and I believe strongly in chiropractic. And if people knew what you know, they'd be piling into your offices. I regularly get adjusted myself. I believe the world needs better health solutions like chiropractic care. I mean, I eat, sleep, and breathe chiropractic. Our clients know that I'm a true chiropractic champion. That's actually a direct quote I've heard from them. And I'm a marketing consultant to other marketers when they have struggles because I'm one of the best online marketers out there. All right, enough about me. Before we get started, let's just take a moment and answer this question. What's the hardest part about marketing your chiropractic office online? Different docs and offices will have different pieces in place and that they feel good about. So for wherever you're at right now, what do you feel is the hardest part of marketing online as we step into the new year? And also answer, why is that so challenging? The answer I see in here is that there's so many things you can be doing. It's hard to say what's the best way to invest your marketing budget or what's going to give you the best return on your investment. You've got websites, SEO, Google pay-per-click, TikTok, Facebook ads, Instagram stories, reviews, and just so many options that it can be overwhelming or unclear where to spend your money. And so that's why I created this slide so you can see the big picture of all the strategies you need to have in place for complete digital dominance in your market. Seriously, these 8 buckets are all it takes to dominate your local market and get the lion's share of the patients that need your help, if they're executed well, of course. So think of this as like a car wheel or tire. You know, if you have most, but maybe not all of these in place, then it's like racing the Indy 500 with a flat tire. These categories are pretty much in order of importance. You know, the big 3 there that will really move the needle are making sure your website is built to convert, your practice shows up in the top 3 listings when a person Googles for a chiropractor, and using social media to establish yourself as the local health authority. And having a content strategy, automation, and follow-up aren't any less important. They're more like a foundation that connects to each and every one of the other pieces. So those will amplify the results of everything else you do. This is one of those situations where the whole really is greater than the sum of its parts. You know, having all of these strategies dialed in will produce more results than adding up the results you'd get from each individual strategy. I'm glad you made the decision to join this webinar so you can make smart decisions about how you're going to grow your practice in the coming year. For the most part, chiropractic offices invest a lot of money in marketing, you know, in websites, in SEO, in Facebook ads, in person events, you know, which most docs don't want to return to doing. Many of you have gone through multiple marketing providers to try and get more new patient visits, and too often don't get much of a return on your investment. Hopefully, you generate some patients from your website and online marketing. But if you aren't attracting enough quality patients that sign on to care, then you may not have much to show for it, and more time has passed without having the growth in your practice that you really want. So that's why it's critical that you make smart investments in your marketing that are going to grow your practice the way you want and that compound over time. So really, the opportunity at hand and what we're going to do today is getting you a clear plan for 2023 that will end up producing patients today, patients tomorrow, and patients down the road. You'll need to generate enough leads to hit your goals, whether that be a certain amount in collections, patient visits, whatever way you measure that for yourself. Now is one of those few times I'll use the word leads because marketers have just ruined that term by focusing on generating leads instead of appointments, patients, or collections. I know that names on a spreadsheet or email don't pay the bills. You can't deposit clicks in the bank, but you also can't maximize your results if you don't measure them. And the number of leads generated is part of that equation. So to get the best return on your investment, you need to track and optimize how many leads you get, the cost per lead, how many appointments those turn into, the show rate for those new patients, along with how many sign on to care and the total number of visits and case value per patient. If you double the performance of just one of those factors, then you can double your practice growth. But if you double two of them, then you're quadrupling your ROI. And if you move the needle in several areas, then you basically slapped a turbocharger on your practice growth engine. The ideal here is to maximize your new patient flow so you hit your goals for 2023. So the first step is just getting clear on where you want to end up by next December. Most chiropractors and practice owners know the number of new patients they need every month just to keep pace, but maybe not what it'll take to grow to the level they want to be in a year. But now's the time to focus on that growth. And where is that next level you want to be at? For some, that's opening another office, or maybe bring on another doc to either to increase capacity or free up your time so you can take off Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays each week. Hopefully you've given these some thought, so take a moment to reflect on what's the outcome you're looking to achieve, and how much more in collections or patient visits does that require, and how many new patients is that going to require every month? I know some months are busier or slower than others, so just average that out over 12 months. And now, think about how many new patients you typically get every month on average, and make sure to consider recent numbers. If those last two numbers are the same, then you're already on track to accomplish your goals for 2023. But if that were the case, you probably wouldn't spend your precious time on this webinar. So regardless of how well you're doing in attracting new patients, you must have some big goals that requires a solid plan and doing new or more things to reach your goals. Otherwise, you're just adrift at sea. And your practice survival relies on the whim of outside forces that can shut down in-person events and traditional ways of generating new patients. But having clear goals can really put wind in your sails. To illustrate, Harvard conducted a study of graduates and 84% had no specific goals, but 13% had goals in mind, but they weren't written down. And then 3% actually had clear written goals and a plan on how they were going to achieve them. So the 13% that had goals were earning twice as much as the ones with no goals at all. But the 3% that had clear and written goals, they were earning 10 times as much as all the others. So hopefully that helps light a fire for those of you that haven't clarified your goals yet or shared them with your partners and team. And let me ask you this. Did you hit your goals in 2022? If not, were they written down and communicated to your team? Did you have a plan on how to achieve your goals? Did you take the action required by your plan? If not, we're going to map out that plan in today's webinar. And if you did hit your goals, kudos to you. And what I'd ask is if what you got you there will get you to where you want to be by the end of the coming year. Keep watching because I bet I'll cover at least a strategy or two that are missing from what you're currently doing online and probably how to increase results of what you are already doing. So take a moment, take stock of these or jot them down if you don't have them yet. What is your revenue target for the year? How much does that come out to monthly? What will be your number of weekly patient visits? And how many new patients will that require each month? What's your average sign-on rate? How many new patient appointments will you need every month? All right, as you start backing your way into those targets, you'll want to know the answer to these questions. I don't expect you to know all these off the top of your head. In fact, most chiropractors or office managers I speak to don't regularly monitor these. So make a note to look into these numbers or have your team provide them to you. Otherwise, you won't really know what it's going to take to get you where you want to be. And I hope you're able to get a handle on how many more leads you need to start getting every month to accomplish your goals in 2023. If not, then at least how many new patients you need walking your office each month, along with how many new patients you're short based on your currently marketing efforts. Now that we have your goals and a clear idea of where you want to get to, it's time to look at how to get there with your marketing. The fundamentals for your online marketing are your message, which is what you say or write, your market, who you say it to, and your media, which is how you deliver your message or where that gets seen. All right, so the second thing to do is getting your right message in front of the right people. And it really starts with knowing who you're speaking to. This is a chance to refresh yourself on who exactly you're trying to attract in your office. And remember this, if you try and speak to everyone, you end up speaking to no one. For example, if your ideal patient is a busy professional woman in her 40s who's married with 2 kids, she's going to have very different desires, concerns, and frustrations than, say, a college kid who was in an accident, or for that matter, a retired man in his 60s who may be struggling with arthritis or, degenerative disc disease. Of course, you can help every one of them, but their needs and wants are much different, and physical or health conditions are going to affect their lives in very different ways. So in your messaging, you want to speak to them in the way that matters to them. Remember, when they find you online, whether that be on Facebook, your website, or wherever, your message helps them understand if you can help them survive and thrive. And if they can't immediately see that, they'll quickly move on. Effective marketing is all about putting the right message in front of the right person. So who is your ideal patient avatar? Are they a homeowner? Are they active in sports? How old are they? Really, get a good picture of who that is. I know you can help everyone or most folks out there, but right now you want to focus on your ideal patient so you can craft a message that resonates with them. Then down the road, you can develop different messages for other groups of people out there. And then what are their fears? What are their desires? These are the things that are going on in their minds before they think about reaching out to you or considering chiropractic for their needs and goals. Remember to make it clear that you can help that person survive and thrive. If not, you'll end up confusing and losing that person as a patient. Remember to make your message about them, not you. Focus on the types of people and conditions you can help more so than you. How you can help or how long you've been doing it. Those things do matter, but at first, the person doesn't care. They just care if you can help them and their problem. After that, they're open to knowing your history. Always put your patient and their concerns front and center in your message. And think about what messaging will resonate with your ideal patient. If they have chronic or severe conditions, that will probably be, that they can be helped without surgery or drugs. These are just some examples of addressing some desires or fears. So that's why it's important to spend time understanding the mindset of the patient you want to attract in your office. So what is your message? Why should someone see you instead of another office or a different type of care? An example we've seen is having a unique protocol that can help treat, rotator cuff tears and the benefit of recovery without invasive or costly surgery, or the lengthy downtime and rehab that comes with surgery. So take a moment, jot down, your current thoughts, make sure you give yourself some time to think about these, get crystal clear in your messaging with these points and figure out what's your message. All right, now we can look at media and how to deliver that message. So first and foremost, your website is the hub. I would actually lump your Google business listing in there because Google looks at both your website and your Google business profile when it decides how close to the top to show either your website or your maps listing. And the maps listing is much more prominent and shows your rating, phone number, if you're open or not. Your Google listing and that Maps 3-pack is going to drive more calls and traffic to your website than your ranking in the regular search results, the ones that appear way down the page. But your website SEO has a factor in the ranking of your Maps listings. So, because Google now has what's called a blended algorithm. So that's why these two are so intertwined and critical for when people search for you by name or just searching for a chiropractor. So how well is your website set up for conversion? Does it have real photos of the doc and staff? People do business with people they know, like, and trust. Show them who you are by putting photos of you and your team instead of stock photos. Does it speak to your target avatar? Does it address their fears and frustrations and speak to why they should choose you? You have a short welcome video introducing yourself and what they can expect should they come to you. And make it obvious you can help them. In other words, instead of talking about subluxations and what services you offer, just make it clear what conditions you can treat. Create a page that lists the various conditions they can get help with at your office. Make it about them, not you. That may sound counterintuitive, but they care about themselves more than you. They care about whether you can help them survive and thrive. Make it clear who you can help, because I guarantee when they come to your website, they're trying to figure out if you can help them. And if it's not clear, they aren't going to work hard to find out. They'll just leave and go to the next one. And can they easily contact you? Is your phone number visible and tappable at the top and throughout the site? 61% of folks say messaging is the easiest, most convenient way to contact a business. Are you giving them the opportunity to engage via chat so it's easy to send you a message from any part of the website? Can patients book appointments directly from the website? Not request an appointment by submitting a form, but truly secure an open time slot. Web forms is where leads to go to die. Too many of them go unanswered or take a long time to follow up. People can't trust that a form is going to get a response. So even if they do submit a request, if they're just looking for a chiropractor, they'll most likely just go back to Google and click on the next one until their mission of finding someone who can help them and scheduling an appointment is complete. And are you leveraging marketing automation and text messaging to maximize your appointment conversion rates? All of these factors combined can easily take a 10% conversion rate and turn it into a 70% conversion rate of website visitors into leads. Imagine if you could get 7 times as many new patients from your website. How much faster would you hit your 2023 goals? Take a moment, pull up your website and look at it with the perspective I just shared. Is it built to convert? Is it missing any of those components that could get you more patient leads? Jot down any of those items you want your website team to tackle for you. Or if there are too many, this could be an opportune time to overhaul your website. By the way, we can help with that if you want. All right, going back to our digital dominance wheel, you'll want to make sure your practice shows in the Google Map 3-pack when a person searches for a chiropractor. If you've looked up any type of service online, you've probably seen results similar to this. With pay-per-click ads at the top, the joint is using extensions to take up extra real estate. So they're, the only one we see here right now. But pay-per-click ads get about 14% of the clicks for local search intent like this. The Maps 3-pack gets 68% of the clicks. That means only 18% bother to scroll down past what's visible. And I'd wager that only happens when the results aren't favorable, like the listing that doesn't include their website, or they're closed, or they have no or few reviews, or a bad rating. Another thing to consider is that when a person searches from a computer instead of their phone, many times they just dial one of the numbers listed here, which means that Google doesn't track that activity. And the 3 chiropractors in the Maps results actually get even more than 68% of the search traffic. So if you want new patients calling you, then you definitely want to appear more often in the Maps 3-pack. But get this, what most chiropractors and business owners don't know is that where a person searches from affects the ranking of the results. Of course, it makes sense that searching from Los Angeles is going to give you local results instead of a provider in Dallas, Texas, but it's much more fine-tuned than that. A business isn't going to rank in the same spot from everywhere in town. And this is called the pizza effect, because Google treats all businesses like it would if you were searching for a pizza place, because you mainly care that A, they serve pizza, B, they're nearby, and C, if they're any good. So Google's going to show you results based on those 3 factors. And one of those is how close the business is to where you search from. So tools like you see here can tell you what position you have from different parts of your city. The example on the screen shows results every half-mile away. So you search for chiropractor from your parking lot, you see yourself in the number 1 or 2 spot, and you think, hey, I'm doing all right. But try driving a mile or 2 away and see where you show up. It may not be so good. Like here, we see an office as number 2 right by their office. But a half-mile away, they're number 6. And if you're not in the number 1, 2, or 3, then it really doesn't matter, because you're not getting the click or the call. The thing to know is that there are things you can do that can improve your ranking in those other areas of town. The 3 factors are proximity, authority, and relevance. So things like your citations, your Google description, your reviews on Google, and more, can move you into those top 3 spots from just about anywhere in your city. And once you do that, you'll get a good portion of the people searching Google for a chiropractor to call you or come to your website, which better be built to convert those people into leads and appointments. The next major place you want to have a solid presence that can drive huge growth in your practice is social media. People are already spending crazy amount of time on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and you want to have a presence where people are spending their time online. Facebook is still where a huge majority of people spend their time on social media. Well, TikTok now is pretty much overtaking all of them. So that's where you want to be to make sure you're getting seen. And I don't mean posting funny memes to your page or dancing videos or asking people if they've had their spine checked lately. In fact, most people aren't even going to see your Facebook posts. Even people that follow your page, only 6% will even get shown your content. So for businesses, running paid ads on Facebook is going to extend your reach more than anything else you do. In fact, if your website needs work and you aren't showing up in Google Maps, then investing your marketing dollars into Facebook ads is going to produce a faster ROI and grow your practice much more than anything else. I'd still do those other things, but think of Facebook as patience today, improving your website conversion as patience tomorrow, and local SEO or Google Maps as patience down the road. And when you consider that Facebook allows you to pinpoint who you show your ad to, it's the only place you can ensure you're putting the right message in front of the right person. On Facebook, you can offer pregnant women the chance to benefit from the Webster technique, offer regenerative medicine to people experiencing arthritis, and put your new patient chiropractic offer in front of people who prioritize their health, even when there are cheaper and easier alternatives available. Facebook is the only place you can do that. And you can generate patients without even having a website at all. Despite how you may feel about Facebook, the platform, or the company, if you're not taking advantage of advertising to the right people in your community, you're seriously missing out on a lot of patients who are going elsewhere, or in many cases, don't even know that chiropractic can help them. If you want to elevate the health of your community, then you need to be advertising on Facebook. Retargeting ads go by many names: remarketing, boomerang ads. I call them stalker ads because that jacket you look at Amazon is going to keep following me around the internet. And honestly, everyone should be running retargeting ads. Think about it. If your website is crushing it and converting an unheard of 50% of its visitors, that still means half the people that came to your website to solve a problem went away without a resolution. And those are some of the prime suspects to put your message in front of. And most websites don't even convert 5% of visitors. If you put an ad in front of all your website visitors that did not convert, you will get a percentage of them to take action. If you craft a decent message and offer with the right call to action, that'll increase the response rate. So these are what you call low-hanging fruit. There's a reason that jacket follows you around the internet, because it's far more likely that you'll click on that jacket and buy it than someone who never went to that product page. Through different ad networks, you can show retargeting ads. It's not just Facebook, it's Instagram and LinkedIn, but on a majority of websites people visit through networks like AdRoll and Taboola. Pay attention to the retargeting ads you see as you visit different websites from now on, and know that you can do the same thing without having to run $1 million ad budget. Right? Your reviews and reputation management are important too. Obviously, you want to have good ratings and reviews, but the quantity and recency have an effect both on the person considering you, but also your Google ranking. Not to mention, when you search for a specific business, such as your practice, not only will a person see your Google listing, but oftentimes directories like ZocDoc, Yelp, RateMDs, and even Facebook show up in the search results. Too many docs focus solely on Google and ignore those others. If you don't have many reviews on a platform, all it takes is one bad review, regardless of whether or not it was legit, to tank your overall rating in that search result and make someone think twice about getting care from you. So you want to make sure to have campaigns in place that will continually get people to leave reviews and on those various websites and directories. Pay-per-click advertising has been around for a long time. Everyone knows those are the top results on Google and Bing. 14% of the people do click on them, so you will reach more people. But what I found is for chiropractors, it's a very low ROI. So I would put that at the end of the list after you've put in all the other media strategies in place. So now that we've covered the different places for your message, I want to switch gears and talk about the two components that need to be embedded throughout all of your marketing. The first is marketing automation. And here's the problem that solves. 50 to 60% of your inbound leads leave unconverted. 90% of submitted website forms fail to convert into actual visits. Why? Because leads that aren't followed up with within 10 minutes go cold. The average customer must be followed up with at least 5 to 7 times if you don't respond immediately. And today's consumer prefers to interact via text message and chat versus phone call or email. And the solution to that problem is this: integrate marketing automation into your processes and touch points. It's possible to automatically follow up with web forms, booked appointments, and other requests without you or your staff lifting a finger. Set that up to occur within just a couple minutes of the prospective patient doing anything. You can also use Facebook Messenger as your website chat widget, and then there's automated tools for that, such as ManyChat, which enable you to map out different conversations and answer different questions automatically. Messaging and texting are the way most people want to engage now. And the key here is follow-up. There's a saying, the fortune is in the follow-up. Our clients see this all the time, where a person responds to a fourth or fifth text message, finally booking their appointment and actually thanking the client for following up. And the beauty of it is it's all automated. The office doesn't have to lift a finger once this is in place. In the end, if you're converting more of those leads into appointments and patients, that makes every lead you generate even more valuable to you. So even if you already have implemented every marketing piece I've covered, but you don't have marketing automation in place, then you are missing out. I've seen conversion increases of 30% or more just from this type of automated follow-up. You definitely want to prioritize integrating this into your marketing. All right, let's talk about building out your content strategy. I'd say I'll save the best for last, but honestly, each piece of the digital dominance method go hand in hand. It's like compounding interest, where every deposit increases the results you see down the line. Similar to marketing automation, you want to be thinking about your content strategy and ultimately your marketing message throughout all of your media. And nowadays, content really is king. The research shows that 70% of customers prefer getting to know a company via articles rather than ads. And 61% of consumers feel better about a company that delivers custom content and are more likely to buy from them. And leading with content has been shown to increase website leads by 126%. That's more important for chiropractic than many other industries. If people knew what you know, they'd beat a path to your door. Most folks think chiropractic is just for neck and back pain. Content is your chance to make your community aware of all the ways you can help improve their health. By publishing articles, podcasts, and short videos, and distributing them across the internet on your website, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Google My Business, you'll position yourself as a local health authority and generate goodwill and build up the know, like, and trust factors that lead a person to want to see you. And Google will even reward you by assigning your website and listing with more authority, which is one of those 3 factors in your MAPS ranking. And I even created a free editorial calendar for you so you have no excuse to not start publishing content immediately. I'll share the link to that in just a moment. We covered a lot today. I went over your most critical media, which is a well-converting website, your Google business listing, and your Facebook presence. I showed the impact of having marketing automation integrated into all of your marketing and how to craft the right message for the right market. So take a moment and jot down what conversion elements you don't have and are going to implement on your website. Have a clear goal and target for 2023. Get clarity around market, message, and media. We've made sure your website's optimized conversion or what it's going to take to get there. And we've covered how to maximize your reach. So key trends to focus on in 2023. Facebook and Instagram ads and TikTok. Shift from phone conversion to message conversion. And you want to have an all-in perspective, which is SEO, social, reputation, etc. And so just remember, each one you implement compounds the results from everything else you're doing. The last piece here is to build your 2023 plan. So what's your plan for 2023? What strategies are you missing or do you need to optimize to get more results from your marketing? As you unpack everything I've covered today, be sure to check out our case study of Heskett Family Chiropractic, where I go in depth on their results and the impact of on their practice. Go to growyourchiropractice.com/HFC case study. That's HFC as in Heskett Family Chiropractic. All right. So what are your top 3 online marketing initiatives that you need to implement to hit your 2023 goal? Write those down. All right. Set goals for 2023. How many leads to hit your goal targets? The 3 fundamentals of marketing success are market, message, and media. How to optimize your website for conversion in 2023 and beyond. Talked about the big picture of all the online marketing channels you should be tapping into to maximize your patient flow online. Covered the latest trends that you need to focus on in 2023, and we developed a custom action plan based on where you are now and what you need to do now. All right, here are your rewards for sticking around until the end. So go to growyourchiropractice.com/reward to download our ultimate online marketing checklist for chiropractors, the chiropractic digital dominance method, and content calendar already mapped out for all 12 months of 2023 for you. And if you want me to personally review your website, social media, or Google business listing and give you a personalized plan of how to get more patients from them, then just go to growyourchiropractice.com/schedule and schedule a time with me to go over all that with you. That's all I have for today. I hope you got some actionable items up today. If you'd like to talk about having us handle any of your online marketing for you, we can do that. Just go to growyourchiropractice.com/schedule and set up a time to talk with me personally. And I hope you have a fantastic year and achieve your goals.